Okay, Rave here. I kind of like the way I can kind of style my my, what do you call them? A prosthetic, a cosmetic, kind of like a crutch, kind of an improvement in my appearance. But I think I've demonstrated that I can style my hair, make it look very natural in a very conservative way, to wear a necktie and a suit, necktie and shirt, slacks. It doesn't have to be a full suit. Although that's actually really very impressive too. Yeah, and try to keep from looking like the devil. And kind of a little something on that middle part. Yeah, but. Oh, I went to one of my favorite places last night at Bordner's. I went on Friday night. They had the free pass, and I was able to check it out and do some videos. There weren't very many people there, and they're dancing. And it was really, quite a turnout. And the club was, pretty full with a lot of people. The dance floor and the outside patio. And I saw a lot of people that I recognized. I was looking for some people that maybe I might know that come there. Like Mojo Diablo was there on my birthday. When I get on my birthday and get in free at your birthday, and you get bring in a free guest. So there was another lady from Club Hell who was an artist. So we got in free as a couple on my birthday, and that was really cool. It was a lot of fun. She goes there all the time. She's always on the dance floor. And, it's a regular thing with her. We used to do that in Cathay de Grand, too. It was like Gentleman's Night or Ladies' Night or something like that. And there was this chick, her name was Jan from the Music Machine. And we would get there about the same time, about 7:30 or so, 7:30, 7:15, 7:45. And we'd, I don't know how it was arranged, but when I got there, she came walking up there, too, at the same time, like every week. And she goes, okay, you're my guest, I'm your guest. And we go up to Bernie. Bernie was the doorman there. Last time I saw him, I kind of ran into him over at the market and stuff. And yeah, it was really nice to talk to him. The time I saw him before that was at the Carlos Guitarlos. We got free tickets at the House of Blues, and I haven't seen a lot of my old friends since then. I saw Carlos Guitarlos at Cozy's just previous to that, when we got hooked up and stuff, when we got on the mailing list. And they mailed us the free tickets, one for me and one for my brother. So we went out there. And and so there was a lot going on at the time and stuff. So yeah, we would get in. And so, Mojo Diablo, when he was there on my birthday, he was saying, what are you going to do? Wait until you die and Capitol Records is going to sell all your stuff and you were broke and struggling and heartbroken your whole life? And he goes, why don't you write for me for my magazine, for Lost Anarchy? Why don't you tell me some of these wild things that you were talking about? What had happened was my sister had gotten involved with a guy from school. She was in junior high school, and they got married. They dropped out of school, got married, and and they had a kid. And he ended up committing some pretty serious violent crimes, where the police had the gun to his head when he was sleeping in bed, and he hurt, and they woke him up. So that's not so good. So he was in prison like most of the whole time. And whenever he get out, he wasn't out for very long. He was back in prison again. And and he's passed away. God bless his soul. With me talking to him and things like that, and being a real, genuine, real person, I had that male bonding and that, heart-to-heart sort of thing. When we're related, his brother-in-law, so, He was, you know, he was my bro. He was my brother. And you know, and that's the type of basis we were on. We never lied to each other. And so he says, what happened was I was with my brother-in-law, and the cops wanted to pull him over, and he just kept going. And we had 3 hitchhikers that we picked up. There's some 3 hitchhikers, and he decided to run, and he drove all the way up Highland, and was going around the block at Franklin and Highland, right over by where the gas station is, where the church is. He was going around the block, and he went around the block multiple times, like maybe about at least 4 or 7 times. And we're going, just pull over, what are you doing? And there's like 3 squad cars right behind us. I could see him coming right, go, you know, like right behind us. When he makes a turn, they just went, and there was like 3 of them. And there's a helicopter, and then there was 4 more squad cars over there on Highland. 2 of them were in the parking lot at the gas station. That's where Jim went, right across Highland, right into the parking lot at the gas station. And then he opens the door and gets out and he runs. And all of a sudden the police officers went right by us, boom, 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 on foot right after him. And I guess he kind of like to jump the wall. I tried to go over, you know, over behind there. They were over there for quite a while, whatever they were doing. But you know, they're going, well, what do you do? You know, and all of a sudden there was a police officer behind us, and he cocked a 12-gauge shotgun, and he says, and he had the speaker and microphone. And it wasn't loud, you know, it wasn't really loud, just loud enough for us to hear it. He says, okay, out of the car, face down. So that's what we complied with, and we ended up getting, well, we had to go down to the station, and they had to figure it out and ask a whole bunch of questions. And one of the hitchhikers was a minor, and she was a girl, and they told me, they said, okay, now you just got paid today, you cashed your check, you have your check stub with you, you know, we've returned all your belongings to you. The only decent gentleman thing to do would be to get a taxi and to take the lady home. And I agreed. So the taxi driver's freaking out. She's telling him where she lives, and she's telling him to turn over here. It's just up over there, you know. It's right here. There's a place called Club Hell. No, not Club Hell. Hotel Hell. I think they call it Hotel Hell. It was like a, you know, like a rundown building that was abandoned, and you know, a lot of you know, punks were staying there. I think some other type of people were staying there too. You know, some other type of homeless people, or some hippies and things like that. But I believe, you know, I don't know what the rules were and stuff. I've never been in there, so I can't say anything about it. But it turns out that that's where she lives, where she's staying. And the taxi driver's going, look, man, I'm only taking you over to Hollywood and Highland, and you're just getting on the bus home. He said, and right now, the meter is on this much. I want this much right now, and another 20 for collateral, and I'll give you the change room to get to Highland. So that was fair enough. That was cool. I didn't want any trouble. I guess maybe trouble finds me. So it was this kind of stuff we were talking about and stuff, and this is the kind of thing he's going, man, well, this is the stuff you got to write about. So Roger's Rave is like this treacherous, like crazy, I mean, but it's true. It's not exaggerated. Nobody could possibly just make him think this stuff up. It's insane. You know, it would be a good Malcolm in the Middle or some other type of sitcom, tragedy, comedy, sort of crazy stuff. So I was going to go out tonight, and I was getting dressed, and it was already getting kind of late, and I was going to get there. And I'm working on this movie. I put the demo up on, I put the demo up. So the movie is stars Arch Hall Jr. Maybe I should turn on the lights, so I don't look like an old man wearing a wig. Turn on the photography lights. The reason why I kind of kept them off, I like the way they kind of like the highlights was kind of doing this thing, but I think there's a kind of a resemblance with Arch Hall Jr. You know, he's got that good wholesome American look. Yeah, nice one. So let me turn on the lights. I kind of like the way the highlights stuff up here. So got a light behind me. If anything, I've created Roger Rave, and Roger Rave is some sort of a self-proclaimed superstar right from the beginning. We were talking about a model that was kind of doing that stuff, and she was on these pink Cadillacs, and she was on these billboards everywhere, and she was like, so cool. I mean, you know, and you're going, who is she? Has everybody heard of her? Do you know who she is? And you go, this is who you've been looking at on the billboards, been wondering who it is. And they have her, you know, in an interview and stuff. So as far as I understand, I haven't met her personally, but as far as I understand, she's, you know, friends of my friends. Anyways, yeah, the rules are not to stalk your friends online. That's the thing that bugs her the most. All of a sudden, because somebody finds out there's a relationship, and all of a sudden they're on their page, and there's posting on the page and sending them messages, and, you know, it's kind of like, you know, she just says, you know, like, don't be stalking my friends. I know you want to be friends. I know you want to have something to say. They've seen your work, and they've seen things that you did for me, and they liked it. You know, I usually include some photography, some video, a painting. I did a painting of Steve Jones, and I gave it to Tequila for her birthday when we put it up at CIA. My artwork's been up at CIA for 3 months, and that's a good sign. That's the Electric Lady and the Monsters of Rock, which includes the Steve Jones, and that Tequila had me paint on Steve Jones' birthday. And Tequila did let me know verbally that Steve Jones did have a look at it, and that he wanted to thank me very much, and he said that it looked really very nice. So those are in frames, and they're hanging up. Just the Alice bag from the album cover, Felicia Velasquez. So I have a painting of her, Diana Cancer, Mary Sims. We sold the Derby Crash. That was for a benefit for someone needed an internal organ, and it was sold at an auction and fundraiser that we did. Oh, now this is photography by Ed Culver, and Ed Culver has specifically requested, and you know, I definitely believe that he definitely gets the credit that he deserves for this photograph, and you know, he's invited me to take a look at his photos to see if there's any more work I'd be inspired to paint. But we'll always give Ed Culver the credit as the photographer for these paintings. So what I have is right now the Roz Williams. Oh no, we sold the Roz Williams. We sold the Roz Williams to a die-hard Christian death fan. He's even got Roz Williams' cross, and he even lives in the same house that Roz Williams and Ava O lived in. And he's got all the photography and photographs. So this was sold to a die-hard Christian death fan who's got all the memorabilia and art, you know, things like Roz's cross. So let me turn on the lights. Let me do the Arch Hall thing. It's called Wild Guitars. It's based on the movie starring Arch Hall and Wild Guitars. I'm just following the same format. I went to the same block at Hollywood and Vine where like the music starts with. Then I put the credits on there. I got the motorcycle. America's Tough Guy. When I had my leather jacket, we were talking about getting on the essential casting and casting as a motorcycle rider. They were doing the motorcycle things, motorcycle stuff. I've got my own buzzers. So anyways, what we were kind of discussing is how I kind of look like Arch Hall. There we go. Even when I was a kid, when I saw the Arch Hall movies, and I was into like My Three Sons with Fred MacMurray, and there's Robbie and Chip, and Ernie came along. I guess they adopted him or something. There you go. They're doing an Arch Hall thing. They're doing the guitar. So I should be doing this and we should talk to my manager. My manager's telling me things, and then what I do is put on my underwear and put on a shirt and tie and say the things the manager says, and we go like, cool. So the movie Wild Guitars has to have some sort of drama in it. So, and then there's a fight, and it turns out, I don't want to tell you what the movie and stuff, but it's a success story, which is kind of cool. The guy comes to Hollywood, and he gets booked and signed and put up in a really nice place, and he makes recordings and makes it to the top. So anyways, this is all theatrical. It's so I can get a job. It might look funny, there's a guy on TV's on the video, and he combs his hair and brushes his hair, and he looks at you and says, okay, what do I look like? He's like, oh, I didn't mean it that way. It's like, well, what in the hell do you think I look like anyways, man? I mean, come on. You would be that bad, now, could it? You know what I mean? America's Tough Guy, they're riding motorcycles stuff. So, kind of like this, kind of like doing the Arch Hall thing. There's also another movie that I like. It was The Choppers, and he's driving around in this hot rod. You know what I mean? And they had his music from when he really recorded and stuff in the movie, even though it wasn't a rock and roll movie. It was a movie about kids getting in trouble and crime. And so, anyways, they watched the format of the movie and put on the credits and because I paid the $1, got in and signed the consent forms, and either someone like Allison Braun would give me a call and that that it was New Wave Theater night, or I ran into people on my way home and they said, oh, it's New Wave Theater night, we're over there now, so I just go along with them. And there was a thing, I mentioned that to Allison Braun about the snake incident. And she goes, oh my God, you remember that? She's going, God, that was so long ago. A lot of people, they tell me, you have a really good memory. I can't believe you remember that. So it was like really cool, So anyways, I put the demo up on Facebook, and I've got a whole bunch of final editing, and I still have a lot of processing of the video, and it's focusing on my art and my music, which includes getting into a television music video show. I enjoy this show, Hairspray. I enjoy Grease. What else is there? Bye Bye Birdie. Oh God, there's a whole bunch of The Cool Ones with Roddy McDowell. I've been trying to get that movie. So yeah, so this is how I get a job. It's basically my portfolio. I'm putting this thing together. I'm hoping you know, some important people might have the chance, the opportunity to see it. You know, through some acquaintances, maybe through a referral, and you know, they can use some extra work. You know, playing in gigs and clubs at night, getting, you know, playing with regular guys, different bands that they have. You know, maybe some studio recording, session recording, maybe some backup for rehearsal guitarists. You know, I'll play the rhythm, show me what to play, give me the chords, and do your thing. There's also, when I went to the Beatles Fest, the guitarist for Wings, I believe his last name is June. I also saw him at Kulak's, which I assisted him a little bit. I knew where the guitar stands were. They were just right underneath the grand piano. And so they go, "You know Lawrence Jubner?" I said, "Well, brief acquaintance. You know, it's just a small little thing at Kulak's, which we're just all sitting around, and Lawrence Jubner was there. You know, I invited my dad, but you know, my dad come down. I was staying with him at the time up in the canyon, and yeah, it was really charming. He was doing the finger picking, and there were Beatles songs. You know, I could get her. She's just 17, if you know what I mean. And the way she looked was way beyond compare. Doom, 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 doom. You know, it's like incredible. You know, he's playing the rhythm and the lead and the melody of the song, and all together, and that little finger picking stuff. I mean, it's incredible. He's got some albums where you know, he's selling CDs and where he kind of does his thing. What he said at the Beatles Fest when he was on stage was that he also records guitar parts for television, you know, like Western, you know, when you hear the good, bad, and the ugly, dun, 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 you know, sound like, you know, the guitar pieces that, you know, help tell the story. As the characters tell the story and build the plot, you also have the music behind that, you know, and that, you know, it tells you when things are kind of light and lovely, it tells you when things get exciting, it tells you when, you know, danger's coming, you know, the way that, you know, we perceive these things in the theater, and audio and visual responses. You know, it's just, you know, it's quite exciting. Yeah, we always said, why give your mind to the movie man? When you can give your mind to the Supreme, you know, all you have to do is just, you know, focus, stay focused, focus, center. In fact, that's the thing that makes this thing whole work, is the centering, this focusing. And then the control of the animation, plus not only that, but the diet is really, really good, and that's really contributed to my appearance. You know, the movie, the plot is following along with Wild Guitar, but it's my guitar music, and it's showing me practicing. See, basically, I'm really, really rusty. I need to practice. I need to warm up. And that's what I'm working on, focusing on that. And at the same time, while I'm learning new things, and I always did this anyways, I always recorded the rhythm, I always recorded myself playing, and kept track of this stuff and listened to it and see how to get together and where to get tighter. And, you know, give it a good critique and see where, you know, the need for improvement needs to be, you know, and riff through the riff and loosen up and learn it and memorize it. My buddy was a GIT student, and they have a specific number of how many times of repetition of a specific thing before it is actually committed to memory. So I think it's something like, I don't know, 3,000, 30,000, 200,000, 200, maybe 33, something like that, you know. So, you know, it's loosening up. So remember, I do have a whole routine that I do from memory. When I warm up with the guitar, but right now I'm learning new things. But I'll start it off with a cassette series that I had I got up to about 12 of the licks out of 20, It was called Star Guitars, and I always started from the beginning, from the first lick. You know, in the second lick, I always began on the first lick, then the second lick, then the third lick, and that's what I would start off with those, the Star Guitars, and then you know, I'd loosen up with some surf, the rockabilly of Johnny B. Good. Then there was the well, it's Ted Nugent, Cat Scratch Fever. Brown Sugar, Jumpin' Jack Flash, The Moody Blues, Picture of a Story in Your Eyes, Sympathy for the Devil, well, the Blues, oh, Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You, and Angie, and I do Panic in Detroit by David Bowie, and Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. Yeah, Ziggy Stardust and Spider Mars were good. I'm going to record it real soon. I want to do the whole routine that I do when I would come in. So now it's learning new things and adding these things to that specific repertoire. That when I come in and I sit down, I pick up and I start off from the very beginning and go through everything. So these are things to be added. You know, what I just worked on, the You Shook Me. I like the blues style, the slow, natural, the hardcore psychedelic. So I had a chance to explore and work and totally crunch and smash and put it all together and start over again and do it another way, unplugged version. I spliced the introduction on there. I gave the introduction a nice, slow, bluesy feel to it. Just give it some more time, some more lead slurs. Slowly. What else? So it's about the Sarch Hall thing. And that's the whole idea. I should turn on that light. There we go. God, I wish I... Sometimes I wish I just didn't let him get away. Actually, the whole thing was, if it would have happened, it probably already would have happened. There's verses that, you know, when a man, you know, when he's not feeling good or when he's upset, we call it that his, he might be a bit disturbed in the mind a little bit. You know, there's a lot of mental emotions, you know, jealousy. You know, it's based out of like, you know, you love her and you don't want to lose her and you kind of like let her know. Hopefully she's not really doing anything else. So, yeah, this whole thing is so I can get a job and stuff. You know, I'm kind of hoping that, you know, possibly, you know, my image might catch on. It's nothing different than what I'm doing. Anybody else? I used to bleach my hair before I was at Sundown or Space. I wish I would have started the picture. My boss Jay Benton took a picture for me with my camera with my bleached hair. My buddy Ron was hanging out with his buddy Bruce. They were hanging out with another guy. He was the lead singer in Iconoclast. I wish I would have had those photos because I had him holding up a t-shirt that I had with Mickey Mouse, punk Mickey Mouse holding a club with spikes in it and stuff. So anyways, that's what we were thinking about the Arch Hall thing. You know, he's an all-American kid. You know, an all-American kid, just, you know, like anybody else. And he, Rick's in the business. And so they have to have some drama and things like that. But it all works out in the end, really cool. And it really ends on a real happy note. Everybody's at the beach, they're dancing, they're happy. You know, he's playing the guitar, he's a wild guitar. You know, so there's some stuff online. There's the trailer online. The movie is online, and the Choppers with Arch Hall is online. It's really good. You know, he's driving around in that dragster and stuff. And yeah, they're at the beach and everybody's dancing, having a real good time and stuff, and they're doing a video. You know, everybody's doing their thing. So anyways, that's kind of like what I was kind of, you know, all of a sudden I'm coming out, hey man, Mr. Movie Star. Wow man, they're totally blowing me before they're even making it big. What are they doing? Oh man, what are they doing this for? You know, it's like, Raj, what are you doing? So, yeah, it's, you know, as long as I keep it cool. So I had a good time at Borders last night at Sinister. I went the night before and did the video. And then what I did some video on my way home at the Hollywood and Vine corner and walking and showing the feet walking on the steps. What I need is some more video in front of the Man's Chinese Theater. And I wish I could find one of those cute little diners from the 50s with the original counter, those little round stools. So I'll need to take a look around and find one of those. They used to have one at the Thrifties on the corner of Van Nuys Boulevard in Van Nuys. But it's, what is it now? Well, it used to be Thrifty. Oh, it's the 99-cent store, and I love the 99-cent store. They got great stuff there. I get a lot of stuff there, and then I get all the rest of the stuff that they don't have, you know, like at the produce market or the health food store. So, anyways, that's just what I kind of think. I think the Arch Hall thing is on there. That's what I was saying. He thinks he's Arch Hall. He thinks he's John Travolta. Maybe it was this thing or something. I think he's John Travolta. James Dean, The Exploited. It's like, hey, come on, man. I am not screwing around with you, and I mean this. You gotta listen to me. You heard her. You heard her. And I'll be taking care of that. Trust me on it. Hi, Mom. I thought I'd come by and bring some friends. Do you have any of those chocolate cookies and some of that apple pie? Oh, Mom, thanks. We just love milk. You know, I knew for some reason you weren't gonna forget the milk. Yeah, well, you know everybody. Cool, right on. Thanks, Mom.